James tells us that faith without deeds is dead. And then he provides a couple of examples speaking about people who don't have any food or don't have any clothing, and the person who goes away and says, well, okay, God bless you, and they move on. That's clearly not what God wants us to do. But when we look around us, we recognize that we live in a world where there aren't that many people where we are who don't have food, and not that many people where we are that don't have clothing. We live in a different world and the situation is different. So what can we do to take our faith and provide works for that faith? We need to recognize that in our culture, there are many people who are essentially invisible. They are within their homes, not necessarily self-isolating, but still isolated. And there are people who are behind screens, anonymous to everybody else. And they don't have adequate contact with people, and they wind up being depressed, they wind up being anxious, they wind up without a sense of purpose. Sometimes they wind up with suicidal ideation because they haven't been able to have the contact, the support, and the love that they require to be able to flourish. We can provide, because of what Christ has already done in us, the support that they need to be able to be flourishing. We need to be able to reach out to these people, being kind online, being nurturing online, and in person, taking the opportunity to invite them into our lives, whether it's the next door neighbor, or whether it's somebody on a child's soccer team, or whether it's somebody from down the street. We can still invite them for a cup of coffee or in for a meal, or we can find an opportunity to be able to share with them and just care about them, to provide some Christian attention that they may have not had before. This is what James has called us to, and were James to be here, he would be likely agreeing that a world with people who are doing these things would be a much better world to live in.
The word endures, the gospel stands, Christ reigns.